What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So honestly, guys, I'm a little bit of sick, as you guys can tell, but I want to touch on something. As you guys can see from the title, jack of all trades, master of none. That is the exact thing that I'm going through right now, guys. Right here behind me is literally the last screen printing project that I'm going to be doing in-house here at my shop, and I'm going to tell you guys why. So if you guys been following me along for a good amount of time, you guys will know that I started off in my garage, like a lot of you guys are right now. And when I was in my garage, guys, the way that I was able to grow was I was able to offer more and more services. One of the services that I started offering early on, honestly, was screen printing. I learned it from one of my friends. He taught me how to screen print, and at first I was outsourcing it. But he ended up flaking on me probably like 2 times, and I ended up just getting this really bad taste in my mouth of like, you know what, I can't rely on other people to fulfill my jobs. So what did I do? I brought it in-house. So literally, once I added screen printing, if you guys know, screen printing takes up a lot of space. There is a lot of departments in screen printing that you need in order to make a t-shirt. Not only do you need like a press, but you also need to burn the screen, reclaim the screen, wash out the screen. You need a printer for the transparency films. That's if you're doing everything in-house, which is what I like to do, because again, you guys just have more control. You're able to provide a better experience to your customer because you're not relying on no one. And to be honest, when it was just me in the garage, guys, like, that was perfectly fine. I was comfortable doing everything myself. But as you guys know, I'm going on year 2 at the shop, and I'm trying to scale, guys. That's my goal. I am scaling. I don't want to say I'm trying, because I am scaling, but I'm learning that as I continue to scale, right, having so many departments under one roof is becoming kind of a headache. And honestly, I might be able to like figure it out where, I have like a killer screen printing department, killer embroidery department, killer DTF department. But I'm realizing that screen print is not even 10% of my business, guys. It's probably like 5% of my business. And the reason why, again, is because my name, my name is Same Day Embroidery, as you guys can see on the cap. And this entire time, right, when I was in the garage, I was adding more services in-house. It was perfectly fine because I was the one doing all the work, And as an entrepreneur, and as you guys continue to scale your business, your shop, you guys are going to get these temptations to add more and more services. And I'm not going to lie, it's tempting. But once you get to the point where you need to start training people or teaching people how to do it, that's where the bottleneck happens, because teaching someone how to screen print is very hard. Like, it's not just about, pulling and all that. It's about temperatures. It's about the types of inks. It's about ink mixing. It's just so many steps, guys. And, the last employee that I had for screen print, this guy had about 3 years of experience, so he was really just a plug and play. He already knew how to print, so it was easy, Like, I didn't have to teach him anything. He was honestly teaching me things. But he left, and the reason he left was just because I really wasn't able to provide like a full 40-hour shift for him, And when he left and he told me that, it literally just clicked 100% in my mind. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, 90% of my business is embroidery, yet I have more than half of my shop dedicated to screen print. Like, I need a restructure. And that's what I'm going through right now. This is literally the last screen printing project that I'm doing in-house. And it's kind of nostalgic because It's like I started in the garage, and I remember like being so happy that I learned how to screen print. And now that I'm like at a different point in my life, I'm like, it was cool, you know, I learned another skill, but at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna just hyper focus on what I'm good at, and then outsource screen print to a shop that just does pure screen print. So right here in my area, there's a shop called Garment Decor. They're right there in Montclair. They're about an hour from me, and it's like they have automatics. They have a full staff. Like, I don't need to do screen print in-house because it doesn't make sense. And if you guys know screen print, it's like if you're printing on a manual, like there's no money in that. Like if you do it yourself, that's cool, you know, you have a job, but I'm not trying to have a job. I'm trying to have a company. I'm trying to have an organization. So we're chopping screen print, guys. It's kind of, it's not sad, to be honest. I'm over it. Like at first it was cool, but now that I've been doing it for like as a career, like having to have screen print and embroidery, it's kind of like a lot for one person. And yeah, I wanted to come on here, share this video with you guys, give you guys a little bit of update of what's going on in my shop. So what's the next step? You guys are probably asking. The next step for me, honestly, guys, is just doubling down on embroidery. Like I'm about to buy another 6 Head Barudan, so now we're gonna, you know, increase our capacity to take on more embroidery orders. So I think that learn from me, learn from my mistake, guys. If you guys are doing well in embroidery, you know, you guys are gonna get clients coming in and being like, oh, can you do business cards? And like, don't be like me and like buy all the machines for business cards just to do it in house. Like, it doesn't make sense, guys. Like, there's obviously an embroidery channel, so I'm assuming 90% of you guys are in embroidery. Like, there's so many layers to embroidery, guys. Like, it's not just hats and left chest polos. It's like you got a pleat, you know, there's just so many layers and layers, patches, you know. There's a lot of layers of embroidery, and as of right now, because of my business, I've been very surface level at embroidery. You know, I know embroidery, like hats, left chest, but now I'm gonna go deeper. You know, I'm gonna get into making like really nice patches, like heat press activated patches. Get into really crazy appliques, you know, eventually scale up to the point where I'm embroidering for other embroidery shops. So that's the message of today's video. You know, Thanksgiving is around the corner. I think it's on Thursday, this Thursday. So the shop is kind of slow, but honestly for embroidery, I'm like booked. And for screen print, I got one job, you know. And that kind of goes to my next thing that I want to introduce you guys is, although I'm tapering away from embroidery, I did buy a 4-head DTF printer. So I've been messing around with it for a couple of months now, honestly, and I'm perfecting it. And I will be offering DTF sheets to other printers, other shops that, again, don't want to bring the equipment in-house. Honestly, DTF is way less complicated than screen print, because at the end of the day, you're just focused on like one machine, right? Which is the oven and the printer. With screen print, it's like you got the exposure unit, you got the washout booth, you got the press, you got the squeegees, it's just so much more equipment, so much more knowledge you need to learn. And that's kind of what was going on, guys. So I'm gonna be completely doubling down on embroidery. We're gonna buy another 6-head embroidery machine, and next year we're gonna buy 2 more so we can get up to 24 heads. And then the year after that, we're gonna go up to 8 6-heads. And that's the goal, that's the vision. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go on lunch right now, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out.